What's up, guys? It's Ron, and in this video we're going to go through a Cars and Bids recap. Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm a huge Doug DeMuro fan, and I've been getting these emails for a while, and I just wanted to go through how cool they are and rank some of these cars in terms of what I think. So let's open up the email. It's July 25th, new auctions. Touareg V10. I mean, it's cool, but to me it's really too old. It's got a big engine, but probably a pass. This is a cool car. I think the older G-Wagons, the further you go back, the more street cred you get. And this one, it looks pretty good. It's got big tires. Let's see. It's definitely got some mods. Functional roof rack, the floor mats. I mean, I think it looks good. I like the black. They can take some artistic photos. Looks like it's in Florida, so it's got some of that saltwater spray, maybe on the beach. Definitely got the roof camper, got the roof tent. Paint looks like it's in good shape. You know, the interior is dated. It's not luxury anymore, but I kind of like it. I think if you're going to get an older truck, I don't want it to be super nice where I'm worried about getting damage. 170,000 miles, man, that's a lot for an older Mercedes, unless you're going to be doing some of that work. But 10,000 bucks, we'll kind of see where it's at. But these are the cars that I think will be a little bit cooler than doing a camper van, but a lot more practical if you want to go camping on those fire roads. You want to haul something. It's just a little bit of a cooler truck. So I like the modifications. Yeah, we got a lift, fender flares. It definitely looks better. Pretty generic Range Rover. It's old, out of warranty. You know, air suspension dies. Maserati, blah. I mean, that gets a thumbs down from me. Nobody wants a 4-year-old Maserati. Even if it sounds great and it looks cool, it's not a great car. Now, E36 BMW. This is a fun car. I don't know if I would want a convertible, but there's a part of me that really wants to own these. You know, I had an E46 a couple years ago. We bought it new, and then I had it. I even put a race seat in it too. I had a Sparco seat. I was autocrossing that thing. But I mean, these are just classic M3s. I think the value is going to keep going up. I don't love that rear diffuser. I would take that diffuser off. It's like the only thing that's race car on an otherwise stock car with pretty ugly wheels. Front lip looks fine. It's got the hard top. Okay, hard top. I don't know. It's different. I'll give you that. It's very different. This one's kind of rough shape, but if you wanted to restore something, this is a fine candidate. And let's see what it's $5,000. We'll see what it gets up to. But if you want a restore car, there's tons of aftermarket support. He's got a super high shifter on there. I think that tells you all you need to know. He's got his drift car. Ooh, 2023 Z06. I mean, wow. This car looks like a race car. It's like something out of Aliens, but 140,000. You know it's going to go over 200,000. This is just such a special car. People want it. They love it, and they're going to pay a lot for a Z06. I feel like there's been a lot of flippers on Cars and Bids lately. I know there were a couple 911s that still had the stickers inside, and people basically just waited a long time for that allocation, and then they posted on Cars and Bids to flip with a reserve at their original price. And if it doesn't sell, then they just keep the car. That's been an interesting, I don't think it's a business model, but they keep flipping it out there, because if you can make $100K profit on some of these cars, it's a pretty good return just for waiting in line for a year. RS5 Coupe, again, it's kind of cool, but it's 8 years old. It's just pretty old for a car with that much power and not reliable. 2015 LX. Now, see, I would buy the LX if I want a cheaper G-Wagon for that street cruising. This is probably just as capable on fire roads. Could put good tires on it, and you can drive anywhere if you want to go car camping in this. But the difference is it's a lot more comfortable driving on the highways to get to where you want to go camping, where you want to get off-road. If you're already off-road, or if you have less than an hour or two drive, I think the G-Wagon's cool. But this one will get you there comfortably. Look at these seats. I mean, it's got Lexus Toyota reliability. Well, it's already at $25,000. Jeez. Well, I guess the pricing is reflecting what I'm saying. A Jeep Wrangler, Mustang, LS, these cars don't really excite me. Again, old Range Rover, it's just going to have more parts to break. Land Cruiser, I mean, these are interesting. These are for the less fancy people, but for $5K, I'd rather just get a Lexus, because this is a pure function car, and this one's it's pretty rough. Let's see what the exterior looks like. Yeah, it's okay. But again, these are getting into like these crazy 4Runner era where the prices don't drop, and you can just own a car for 5 years and not have any depreciation. This is a cool one. We've got a General M1123. I guess that's what they call the official Humvee. Camo paint job. Completely useless back seat. I've seen a lot of these H1s that are fitted with sideways bench seats. That seems a lot more practical than just having the 4 buckets. It's cool. I know a couple of people with these, and it's just a huge production to go out for any kind of drive. It's not a good car at all to just be able to run to the grocery store or even on weekend trips. It's very loud, very hot, gets bad gas mileage. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's a 2021 Carrera. It's already at 125. It's definitely going to go for more than that, and this person probably bought it for the same price, and they're going to flip it for what they paid. 2021 7-speed. It's got good options, sport and premium, front axle lift. What else? Boring. Old Corvette. Boring. Ooh, 6x6 G-Wagon. Sold for $200,000. So somebody wanted this conversion for $200,000. Not my cup of tea, but if you want that flash, it is different. This M5 is pretty attractive. It's only 10 years old, and it's probably going to go for $35,000. I think it's going to be reliable even at that power, but I think the looks are good. Owned by Steve Deenan, 37,000 miles, but this car's got what, 500 horsepower? Only 37,000 miles. These Acuras are getting crazy prices, $125K. But this is a collector, definitely a collector car. Yeah, I think I would add one to my garage. This is my $1 million budget, but I would put an Acura in there. $124,000. A Lotus Elise. See, again, older RS7. This is what I don't want. 560 horsepower in an 8-year-old car with 8-year-old plastics. It's probably going to go for a relatively cheap price. It's ended. It didn't sell, so the owner thought it was worth more than 27, but didn't meet his reserve. And that kind of makes sense to me. There's not a lot of people that are willing to pay for a high horsepower, somewhat unreliable car that's getting pretty tired. I mean, these photos aren't the greatest. I really credit the seller or blame the seller. You're not doing any favors for yourself to leave all of this dust down here and these dirty floor mats and your water bottle in the car. If you're going to try to sell a $40,000, $50,000 car, clean it up a little bit, and I think that reflects in the auction. But definitely don't upload these photos. I think it looks terrible. What else? So many cars. Here's a GT4. It's not 89,000. There you go. So relative for me, I could have spent a little bit more to get a GT4, and I think it would hold its value. But these are still selling, 150 for newer models, 2020s, and it's tough. I think depending on what it ends at, this price is pretty low. So they're starting to come down in price for the GT4s. I don't think there's anything wrong with this one. 15,000 miles, no accidents, but 115 new. It's a little bit of depreciation, I guess. I liked this RX-7, boring. I missed my Honda S2000. My car could not have sold for $31,000, not today, but this car looks in amazing shape. I mean, look at that. The interior is mint. Everything about this car looks really great. I think it says 10 of 10 VINs. My car had not. It had about 8 out of 10. I had my roll bar cut into the plastics. More GX, 335, GTI. None of these cars really excite me anymore, but you can see there are just a lot of cool cars on here. So thanks for tuning in. It was fun to kind of review the cars and bids emails. I get these all the time, and I just want to comment on my opinion on what I think is worth it for my $1 million car budget. So smash that like button if you're still watching. Subscribe for more car content, and we'll see you next time.